Hello?
Hel- Hello?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Oh, great.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I see two things now. I see Latoya's iPhone and Latoya's iPhone at the top. And one's just a screen in the Zoom. I see like me and then two other ones, but one's just blank. It's just funny.
I don't see it. Oh, wow. I don't know how that happened.
No, somehow oh no, it just went away. I don't know what you did. Maybe you
Oh,
switched devices or something. I don't know.
I had to turn on the audio, so
Oh,
maybe.
okay. There you go. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah. Um, well, I'm trying to put together, I don't know, have you ever listened to the podcast before?
No, I haven't actually.
So yeah, uberlyftdrivers.com is kind of like for all gigs, and it's been around for 5 years. I've been running it, and this has been going, we just did our 90th episode. Um, and we do more podcasting than YouTube, creating like a lot of you guys, but I'm just getting into that realm right now. But the podcast is like extremely blown up. Like we're way, way, way up there. So I know all of the creators and stuff, and I actually sit in with like a lot of the people. Like I was on Hannibal's show last night, and I know all these guys, and I'm doing
God.
the YouTube thing too. But I like just kind of having organic conversations, and I actually, just to give you a little history, I come from like the traditional gig economy. Like before gig.
Oh, okay.
Like still working other jobs that had to be flexible. Like I work for a laser production company, and I do show like, I'll do tours with big acts, around the world and sometimes whatnot. And now I have a kid, so I don't do it. I do a lot of more programming for the laser company, but like I toured for like 5 months with Sade. I did,
Oh,
like I've done some pretty big stuff. And when I come back from like a 5 month tour, obviously I don't have a job because
oh,
nobody just lets you go, hey, I need 5 months off tomorrow.
exactly.
Yeah, right, you're fired.
You're
It's like so I mean, like I've always had to juggle, what do I do in between? So the gig world kind of saved me, and that's just a little history with me. But yeah, hopefully, go to any pod player, Spotify, anything, look up Rideshare Rodeo, um and just find one that you're interested in. They're all different topics.
will
But
do. Yeah, just listen to podcasts more in
yeah.
general. But
Yeah, I mean, I've started populating some of the podcasts over to YouTube too. So Rideshare Rodeo, also on YouTube, you'll find it. Um, but yeah, I'm like, I get more interested in like people like you, because like if I was seeing it right, like I do bullet notes, and like you have Etsy, you're doing things with hair, clothing. You're doing some of your videos seem like they're um not showcasing, what's the word I'm looking for, like influencing, maybe like
yeah,
influence type videos, you know what I mean? And so
right. Yeah. Mhm.
so your DoorDash income to me is awesome that you were making that, but that's my focus, is that you're juggling multiple things. So today I have Curly Girl Life, aka Latoya. Is it okay that I did it in that order instead of the
Yeah,
other way?
that's
um
not.
I know most people know you as Curly Girl Life, or at least in the gig world. Like the people that you and I cross paths with, they probably think of you like that. All of us go by our handles. Like my name's Steve, but everybody calls me Rideshare Rodeo. That's nothing to do with who I
Right.
am. But I'm glad you could be on today, and thank you for taking the time.
No, definitely no problem.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I was looking, and I even was looking through some of your videos, and even your videos don't all date to like DoorDash and stuff. You've done other vlogs, and um, so maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just guessing that you're kind of, you like me, you have your hand in a lot of cookie jars where you're earning and trying to earn and do things.
For
But my
sure.
guess my guess is, with some of the other things I saw in there, and this is just a guess, but that your passion lies more with some of the other things you do.
Definitely, for sure.
So like, if out of all the things, well, first of all, what are all the things that you do?
So, for maybe over 10 years, I've crochet. So I
Okay.
started with crocheting. That's like the first creative gig I tried. And I would make blankets, uh, baby dolls, crochet dolls, hats, everything through crochet.
Uh-huh.
And then I started I started my YouTube channel about 10 years ago, and I was in the natural hair industry. So like kinky curly hair. I was showing people how to, grow kinky curly hair and how to best treat natural hair. So
Were
I
you
had a
were you doing hair at the time?
no, not actually doing other people's hair. I do my mom's hair,
Right. Okay.
but I do know a lot about natural hair care. So my
Uh-huh.
hair towards hair and beauty. And
So does your history then with the hair? I mean, obviously you just have a sense about, oh, I think I know what would look good there. And you just kind of know how to tweak somebody out to make it look right. But does a lot of it come down to some of the beauty products that you do work with? Is that a big
that
portion
is
of it or?
that's part of it. Yeah, it's the products and mostly the technique with growing like kinky or curly hair.
Right.
Gentle with it is really fragile, so it's really mostly about technique.
So when you're doing DoorDash, and I've watched some of your videos, and you're doing other things. If you could pick one, like which one is your love? Which one is your passion that if it could pay you the right amount to live, no matter what it was, what would you do?
Hmm.
Like if everything on the table is going to pay you the exact same amount of money per year, which one would you do?
I would say the natural hair care. I really enjoy it um,
Yeah.
because it's something I didn't know about over 10 years ago. And then I'm just like, oh, wow, I don't have to, relax my hair and have it straight all the time. I could have my natural texture. So, yeah, I think that's something I'm pretty passionate about.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just wonder because I know a lot of us do gigs. I mean, like I don't, I work all the gig platforms I can and try and work specials and which ones are going to pay me I work on money when it comes to gig. I'm not my loyalties don't lie with
It's,
these untransparent companies. My loyalties lie with my family and providing. Um,
it's,
if somebody pays me more, I'm doing it. And if people are like, that's the bad company, I'm like, I don't care.
it's
I go where the money is. So,
exactly.
you know, um, but one of the other things I saw that really this is funny because it's something that I thought about when I've done like 30,000 ride shares since 2014, 2015.
Wow.
Yeah. I haven't done any since the pandemic. Not a one. I've
Oh,
done
okay.
some delivery and I've done some Curry, who's my sponsor and stuff. And I do some other gigs, but I haven't gone back to rideshare yet. I just, the first of all, they would have to make the money way more enticing because it had already kind of reached a bottom level for me right at the pandemic. So to just leave it at that level isn't enough to bring me back. Um, but one thing I noticed I really liked about yours is that one of the videos that I stumbled across was on like 5 different things, but one of them in there was a notary and
Yes.
and a signing agent. And to be honest, like I always thought to myself, like in the first couple of years I was doing rideshare, I'm like, I should become a notary because it's
Wow.
something you could do while you're doing rideshare because you're already traveling all over the city. You could always schedule somebody into anything you're doing.
Exactly.
And I once had a customer in the car who was a notary, and they're like, there is a little bit of work behind it. It takes, you got to do like but it didn't sound like this long thing. It was like you got to put your whole life into it for 3 days or something kind of thing.
Right.
4 days kind of thing. And then you'll get certified. And I'm like, how hard is it to certify somebody to check a signature? He's like, there's more to it than that. It's I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm sure there is, but nonetheless. But then when he was telling me what he would be paid for gigs, again, it was one of those things where I knew I couldn't just sit at home and kind of call people and try and tell them I'm doing notary now and hope that would sustain me. But I knew that, wow, that'd be a really amazing tool to have in the back of my trunk. I mean, I can't even imagine if I had a little like thing on the back seat of my car when I was doing rideshare that said I'm a notary, and
Oh, yeah.
all the people I take to the airport who would have been like, dude, I need you to, oh my God, I was going to have you stop at a Kinko's and we were going to have to take care of this. If you can do it.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, I just kind of thought, geez, this is something I don't need an office. I don't even need to like do it from home. I can do it from my car while I'm doing rideshare.
Goes hand in hand.
But then you start talking about the earnings, and I'd never really looked into that portion. I don't know what the difference of a signing agent was, but yeah. I mean, you were talking some pretty big numbers for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, loan signing is, so you're actually dealing with the loan side of things. So you're dealing with house closings, you're dealing with
the mortgage repo, brokers and
all that, right? And those are like $100 to $150 per appointment.
So what did you learn about the signing agent that I just don't know that the broker couldn't do?
I guess it's more convenient because you go through signing services and they pick out a location near you, a house to go to near you that you just go to and do the appointment, do the loan signing, and then you return the papers back to the company. So it's like,
is it just more about you being a neutral party then? Like, here's the broker, here's the buyer. The broker shouldn't be doing it. So it's like, hey, let's bring in Latoya.
You're the middleman. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know, neither of us have a tie to her. So let's have her come in and be the neutral ground. Is that really what it comes down to?
I think so. I think you're like the middle. You're the middleman and you're an independent contractor.
Did you ever pursue it?
Not yet. I want next year. I plan to pursue it.
I never even got into like even looking. I really was pretty close. I thought this is a thing, but do you know the cost?
It's so you from what I heard, you need a dual printer, a jet dual printer, which it could be pricey if you don't get it secondhand. And then the training, I've heard of the loan signing system, I think, and that's pricey too. There's a lot of other trainings, so you don't have to do that one.
What about just on the notary side though? Did you look into that? Because I think that's fairly cheap.
Yeah, the actual notary side is cheap. Once you have, it's basically the printer, the paper, and make sure you always have toner. But that's basically it. You're just constantly printing out the documents, and that's really the main part of the job. They send you what to print out. You go to the person's house and make sure they sign all the right signatures and return it back to FedEx, and then just repeat.
Yeah. So I forgot to ask you, what market are you working in, or what city are you in?
I'm in Euclid, Ohio. So it's like Wickliffe, Ohio for like Georgia.
Is that close to Cleveland, Columbus, Akron?
Yeah,
Cleveland. Okay. So, and then I think you do Instacart and DoorDash.
Yes, Instacart, DoorDash, and Uber Eats.
Oh, you do Eats too. So do you, I have to ask, did you ever use the Para app?
No, someone else mentioned that to me. I haven't used it yet.
Well, I meant more even when it was in the 19 weeks of full transparency on, because I'm one of the 4 founders of Para.
Oh, okay.
So we were the ones that got shut down by DoorDash twice. So
wow.
Yeah, it was a learning experience for sure. But you know, I mean, for 19 weeks, I was just talking about this the other night with Hannibal. You know, we went from a group of 700 people who were helping us beta test the app to having 290,000 19 weeks later on the app. Wow. And there's 1.2 million dashers in the United States. So we were pretty close to about 30% of the active dashers were using Para.
Wow, that's huge.
I mean, you know, and then so I'm sure you heard some of those negative sides too, where it's like, you know, they're cherry picking. Well, I was the driver advocate. I got to tell you, like, every time I heard that, it was so funny to me because I don't do dashing. I did it just to understand what we were doing at Para. But I got to tell you that, like, you know, these people were getting like most of the people who optimized it well were getting 300 to 400% more money. And everybody's like, well, they're cherry picking and it's wrecking it for everybody. I'm like, okay, I saw those acceptance rates before they started para. And it's like they started using para, they had 6% acceptance, and then they went down to 5. That's not, para didn't do that. They were already that bad.
Yeah, you're really supposed to cherry pick.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, is that even without para, people cherry pick all the time, all the time. So I mean, that was one of the main accusations we'd get, that and data, and then we kind of explained all that. But you know, it was a time that, you know, the people who did know, it was funny to us too, because they were all going, shh, don't tell people, and like we'd hear them in the group saying that to other people, and we're like, no, it's okay. I mean, if they know we're doing it, they've like reached out and they've made comments and they understand what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We just knew there was going to be a certain time they were going to go, we just didn't know
Oh,
when that was, and we were
wow.
exploding in growth, so we're just like, okay, let's just keep going.
And
And
see
then
what happens.
it got a little ugly. But when you drive in your area on, I won't even get into like shifts, like are you doing the, you know, the midday shift that's just not money, or are you doing money shifts and whatnot? But how do you do on the DoorDash platform, can I ask?
DoorDash alone.
Or
There's been
whichever ones you've learned to like it, let's say that like Tuesday night every week you go out and you know what times are the greatest, whichever apps you're using, what are you pulling average hourly? That's something I'm trying to ask everybody around the country right now.
I do about maybe 5 to 6 hours a day. I'm just part time,
Right.
so from like 11 a.m. to before it gets dark outside. Basically, I don't like to be out in the dark, so I go for like 100 a day.
Okay.
It's just work, yeah,
So maybe like 20-25 an hour.
yeah, around there.
That's kind of what you shoot. That's, I mean, I always had that kind of goal was, you know, I'd set my schedule up too, because I have a 15, well, he was younger. It's always younger, but if I look back, but he's 15 now. But I always had to set a schedule so that I could be home for him, because he's here 5 days a week with me. And so I'd set my whole schedule for the week, and I would always set pars for myself. And it really, you know, when people ask me like, well, when they started changing the rates, how did you keep those pars up? And I said, well, I pivoted. You know, if I didn't want to work Friday nights and that was my one night off, and now I'm short $150 a week that I need, well, I need to pick Friday night up, and I just am gonna need to stop driving on Tuesday when it's dead, and I just won't have a life, and I won't work, and I'll have to work all weekend. You know, I mean, that's, it's a bad answer, but it's true. I mean, it's just, you know, you have to pivot in the gig world.
Definitely.
And, you know, that's why I tell everybody, you know, download all the apps. You don't have to
So,
to get them all rolling the same day, because if there's bonuses behind them and whatnot, you'll never get them if you sign up for all of them on the same day, because you have 20-30 days, all that kind of stuff to hit a number. But I'm now starting to think I should tell people, download them all and activate them all the same day. Get all 30 apps, activate them all. Don't worry about the bonuses, and just be able to move to another platform immediately.
that's true, because one could be down or anything. It's, you never know with gig apps.
Right. Or when you come on to a lot of these, I've been on enough that I don't want to hear from them anymore. And especially some of the things we learned at Para, where, you know, like the algorithm manipulation is real. And to be honest, like, you know, when you first come on, almost everybody I know just rages the first few days they come on, or week or whatever. They do so well. They're like, dude, I'm crushing it. I love this. And I'm like, see,
Mhm.
that's that faulty algorithm. Watch, by next week, you're going to start getting junk orders.
Either real $3, 250, $2.50 orders.
Right. It's like that like they're getting you addicted to it, and then they're pulling out the what you need, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and you're just scraping by sometimes with some of these apps. It's like, dude, this is a $2 order and a $2 tip. Come on. I mean, there's no way that I mean, we all want more money. That's a given in life, but there's no way these companies can't see that and realize that. I mean, it's one thing to be trying to make a profit, but it's another thing to just keep taking more away from us, when obviously the cost of living isn't even just going up anymore, it's skyrocketing no matter
Yeah.
where you live. And by that, I even mean like I went to the grocery store and I've been hearing all the bad stories, but I just went the other day and the normal stuff I would buy for a week to 10 days for my son and I was probably like a good 30% more. Just
It's
the,
scary.
you know, almost the exact same items that I got 10 days prior was like
Mm-hmm.
30% more. And I was like, see this, the gas and everything's starting to really not take small increment gains, but really leaps and bounds.
It's
And
scary. I know.
it is scary. And, um, so, so you do that part-time. So what is on Etsy that you sell or promote?
I sell an ebook that shows you how to make lip gloss.
Mhm.
So if someone wants to start a lip gloss business, they could get that ebook and it'll show you how to start up the lip gloss and how to make it. And I sell actual lip gloss too, handmade lip gloss that I make.
Yeah. So you don't optimize it for other things like your crochet or anything like that?
I used to, but that doesn't really sell, honestly.
Really?
It doesn't sell too good. I guess people could just buy it from Walmart or a crochet blanket from Walmart, and
Really?
so it
I
really.
would never go buy one. And I've had my grandma gave me one that she made. And then one of my best friends in the world, who I stood up for at his wedding, his wife made me one, like right around their 20th anniversary. And those are the only two I've ever had. I would never
Wow.
go out and buy one, but those both meant the world to me because they were handmade.
Yeah, right. I know.
And I would
You.
think like Etsy's kind of that platform where that's what they want. People
Yeah,
want the
true.
handmade stuff.
Unless it's really special and eye catching, you have to make it like maybe personalized or something like that. But I found it took too much time for me to make for it not to sell. So I'm like, let
Right.
me go for something that I know would actually sell, like lip gloss that
Right.
people wear every.
Yeah.
So I do.
So pretty much your work is between that and delivery right now.
Basically, yep, lip gloss. I have a Redbubble, a few T-shirts as well. I want to redesign the T-shirts, but I do have a few gig work T-shirts as well on Redbubble.
Gig work t-shirts?
Mm-hmm. One says "Keep the wheels turning," and
Yeah.
like the letters wheels are like at a curve, like it's going up a hill.
Okay.
So that's one design, and the other is work plus. I have to redesign that one, but yeah, the main one is "Keep the wheels turning" on Redbubble.
Yeah, I've got some of our merchandise for Uber, Lyft drivers, and Rideshare Rodeo up on Redbubble too. And when I first uploaded it, it populated it with all this crap like clocks and and
Yeah,
bedspreads and like
yeah.
drapes. I mean, I was like, dude, nobody's gonna buy drapes that have my logo on it. Like, I mean, like it had so many items. I was shocked, and I was just like, whoa. And I had to really scale it back. But that's something I will definitely need to get from you then is your Redbubble link.
Oh,
Because I saw the other day, this was for my account, but I didn't really read it, but I saw something come in from Redbubble saying that right now there's a huge sale going on too. And I don't know how that affects us, you and I selling on Redbubble, but I know
good.
that right now they're saying the email caught my eye because it said something along the lines of everything Redbubble sells is 30 to 40% off.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if like my guess is that means we would still get the same take on each item and they're
Yeah,
just willing to take a bite on it to get some more end of year numbers.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're not cutting it. I mean, they're not going to take 30% off and then say, sorry,
From us.
Latoya, that part of that 30% was all of your money.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know you and I, like, we set up our stores there and then they have other people ship it out, make it, all that kind of stuff. But
Right.
nonetheless, it's our brand. You're selling your brand. I'm selling my brand. There's no way they could sell it and cut us out of the loop.
Is that
But I would,
that's
I saw that sale come up and share that with us because gig workers are always looking for t-shirts and things like of that nature, hoodies. I found I sell a lot of hoodies and they're pricey on Redbubble too.
Yeah, it's like you have to mark it down if you want it to be a acceptable type of price, because they'll put it up to way up there.
Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
rideshare driver who lives in New Orleans, and he does rideshare part time, but he also is out on some of the fishing boats. So
Oh,
he works like 30 hours a week on the fishing boats, 4 days a week in a row, and then he has three off, kind of like a paramedic schedule. And when he's off, he does the rideshare, and he's like, "Hey man, where can I get?" I was wearing a long sleeve white T-shirt that had my logo on it. And he's like, "Where can I get one of those thick, awesome hoodies?" I'm like, "Dude, this is a thin T-shirt."
no.
And he's like, "Well," I'm like, "But there are hoodies there." And he told me a story about Redbubble too, where it was like he got there, he saw it, and it was like he's like, "I thought it was, it was fair price. I ended up buying it anyway, but it said $35 or $36. But when it came time to checking out, and it said free shipping, but after I clicked everything and was at the checkout, it was like $48. So I
Wow.
guess I've never bought something from Redbubble. I don't know.
Me either.
I almost think I need to buy like just a keychain or something of mine,
Just to see. Yeah, true.
because I've had other people tell me that too. And it's not just like it's Redbubble. I've heard that about a lot of those type companies that, hey, we're doing all the work for you. You just provided some art and we'll put it on anything for people. I get that. That's right now what I want to do coming into the new year is hoodies, t-shirts, and trucker hats, and that's it. And I want to buy them up front from a company that'll cut
Oh,
me a huge deal.
okay.
You know what I mean? But just buy enough and just kind of keep that stock. As soon as it's out, buy more. But instead of having people go to Redbubble and buy one at a time, I've started looking, and you can find places that, like, if you buy 5 dozen trucker hats, instead of them being $11, you can get them for 6.5 to 7.
Okay.
And
Reduce.
yeah, but you got to put it all up front. It's got to be your money, and
Okay.
but that's instead of having 100 items, that's really the three I need: t-shirts, hoodies, and hats.
That's mostly
That,
what people
that's what
want.
people want.
Right.